Hey guys, um, I'm really tired right now because I just got off the phone with Dr. F, my counselor, and we had a pretty hefty session of me being extremely honest about things I'm feeling. And I open myself up in ways that I have never really opened up, to almost anyone. So I thought I should do it here too. I read from a journal entry to her because she has me journal, and I actually wrote a Tumblr post about one of them that was really, really personal, and it's about how emotional abuse has really messed me up. And I'll put the link down in the description because I don't want to ramble too much about it, but what it boils down to is I realize that I filter a lot of my thoughts and what I say and my reactions and my emotions through what I think my dad will think of me. And that's really hard because I was raised in an environment mostly by my dad and my sister. My mom raised me, obviously, and she has not done any of these things. It's my dad and my sister. But I was raised with the idea that if I want or need anything for myself, and if I make those wants and needs known, I'm selfish, and that's a bad thing. But everybody else can ask things of me and want things from me, and I have to give them or I have to respond, because if I don't, I'm selfish. So the extreme guilt I feel when I need things like I need to go get my medicine. I take medication, and if I were to, when I need that, which I do every month and a half or so, I have to go refill the prescription so that I have enough pills to get me through the next month and a half and stuff like that. It's just, and when I need to do that, I have to impinge on other people. And I was made to feel like if I make myself known by being my usual goofy self, because it's kind of a tendency for me to be silly, is sometimes my silliness is a way to cover up hurt. Does that make sense? I'll be silly sometimes to cover up hurt, but to be really frankly honest, I feel like I'm invisible a lot. I feel like I am forgettable a lot. I feel like it's hard to articulate. I'm having strong emotions. Can you see me spocking out, trying to keep a straight face? It's not working. These feelings are coming up inside of me. I'm trying to process them, and that's what's hard, is there's a bunch of them. It's not just one, it's a bunch of feelings, so it's overwhelming. But I just feel like everything I do is ultimately pointless, and that if I were to disappear right now, that people would get over it and forget about me within the next 10 minutes. Everybody'd have their, oh, it's so sad, she's not here anymore. And anyway, did you hear about the Lakers on TV or whatever? Or hey, did you hear about Star Trek and Live Long and Prosper? And it's just, but just feeling invisible and forgettable. And if I try to reach out and get someone's attention, like by promoting my fan fiction or making a vlog like this, or just stating anything about how I feel, that I'm being selfish, and selfish is bad, but only for me. Everybody else is allowed to be selfish, but if I'm selfish, I'm the one that gets pointed out for being that way and told, no, that's wrong, you're not supposed to do that, that's bad, and shut up. So, I don't even know if I'm going to post this, but I probably will because I have to. But, gosh, this vlog is so rambly and ridiculous. But sorry, I'm panicking a bit. Panic, get out of me, panic, get out of me, panic, get out of me, panic. Can you not panic? Can you not panic? I'm stimming. That's stimming. Can you not panic? Sometimes I talk myself down by stimming, just repeating something over and over. Can you not panic? Can you not panic? Please don't panic. Anyway, but I was taught that if you're trying to draw attention, that you're ridiculous and that you're being selfish, and selfish is the worst thing to be, and if I try to be selfless, then I feel like nobody notices when I'm trying to be that way, but if I try to draw attention, I'm still being bad. So it's like no matter what I do, it's not right. It's not the right course of action. But in December, when John, my choir director, drove me home from Sheila's house, Sheila was the host of our Christmas party. When he drove me home and we got to the driveway, he took hold of my hand and he asked me, "What do you want in life, Cindy?" And of course, me being my autistic self, I spat out a quick response of, well, I'm really liking my solos for a Silent Night, and someday in the future I want to maybe stand up at the Cantor's podium and do it, or maybe do a solo in a Christmas concert someday, but, you know, nothing like right this moment, obviously, but really that wasn't the actual answer I wanted to give. And the thing is with John is that he's got things in his past that are kind of similar to mine, but I don't want to detail it because it's not my story to tell. But he has lived experience of what I'm going through. That's all I'm going to say on it. And so when we were talking in the car ride on the way home, you know, we had a very cathartic conversation that was really hilarious, and just because of the nature of the conversation, I don't want to repeat what it was because I don't want to risk him getting in any kind of trouble for it, because it was very inappropriate, but not in like, not like sexually inappropriate. No way. It was more like we were saying things that would not be appropriate in mixed company, but we were being very frank with each other, and some of the language was very loose. Let's put it that way. And it was a lot of fun. It was very memorable. But at the end of the car ride, when he asked me that question, I just spat out my answer. But the truth of it is, and this is the part that, look at me stalling for almost 9 minutes, going on 9 minutes now, just about, to say what I need to say, which is what I want in life. I want to feel seen. I want to feel heard. I want to feel like I mean something to people, and I want to feel like my feelings mean things to people. I want to feel like I'm a valid human being worth listening to. You know, I want to feel like I exist. Because a lot of the time, I don't. A lot of the time, I feel like I am just a face in the crowd with no name, no past, no future, no anything. And I want to be more than that. And I try to be more than that. But every time I try to be more than that, that damn freaking voice in my head that sounds like my dad says, "You're being too much. You're over-exaggerating. You're overreacting. Stop it. Nobody needs to know that. Nobody cares to hear that. You're being a baby. And that is the crap the emotional abuse leaves behind. That is the crap. That is the filth. That is the dirt. That is that moldy slice of bread that ruins the entire loaf out of everything. All my memories of my dad, they're like loaves of bread, and the abuse is that spot of mold on the one slice. But if there's mold on one slice, you gotta throw the whole loaf away because it's already in there, and it's just, that's where it's sprouted and where you can see it. And if you eat moldy bread, you could get very sick. You could even die. And it's like, I have all this toxic bread floating around in my mind as memories. You know, imagine that memories are bread loaves, and I have all these memories with all this crap on it. And the toxins of that are what keep me feeling like I'm always selfish and wrong for wanting to be seen and wanting to be heard and just wanting to make some kind of difference in the world that leaves it better than it was when I was in it. Not that I'm going to be going anywhere anytime soon, but you never know. I mean, I could walk outside and a meteor could fall on my head, or I could live to be 112. Who knows? But if I could just leave the world a little better and have people continue to speak my name when I'm not around anymore someday, you know, I feel like I'll have done something worthwhile. But I always feel like if I were to disappear off of the internet completely, that I would not even be mentioned anymore. That I would stop being relevant and stop mattering. And my biggest fear is being forgotten. My biggest fear is feeling like I was never here. But I already feel like I've never been here. And that's what's so hard about it, is that I try to make myself known, but to not be too much, or not be too much of this or too much of that. But any show of, hey, my name is Cindy and I exist, is too much. That's what my dad has done. That is his legacy on me. And I don't want that to be my legacy on anyone else. You know, as the 12th Doctor said at the end of his anti-war speech, do you know what you do with that kind of pain? You hold it tight until it burns your hand. And you say to yourself, never again. No one else should have to live like this. No one else should have to feel this pain. And if showing mine can help somebody else escape from theirs, maybe I'll have done something worthwhile. Maybe. This is the part of the counseling that I was afraid of, is taking myself apart and looking at all these pieces. The pieces are now apart, and I have to make sense of it. It's like taking a jigsaw puzzle and cutting all the pieces up, you know, cutting all the little nubs off the ends of it and cutting them into squares and triangles and stuff. And now you got to fit it back together. And it doesn't match the picture on the box anymore. So it's confusing, and it's like you cut these pieces up and you threw them behind you, and now they're all over the floor, and you've got to find them and find out how they fit back together. And what's this new picture going to look like? I have no clue. But I am confetti pieces of a puzzle all over a floor, and I don't mean autism puzzle. I just mean a puzzle of me and who I am and what I'm here for and what I want. And I think I found what I want in this mess, and it's to make a difference and to leave a mark and to let other people know they are not alone, because I feel alone and I don't want that pain on other people. If me saying you are not alone helps one person, I'll feel like I've done something. But being an abuse survivor is hard. Being a bullying survivor is hard. And now I'm squeezing all this nasty stuff out of myself and examining it. And it's hard. It's terrifying, but for your own health, you gotta do it. I'm glad I'm doing it, but I hate it at the same time. Oh my God, look at me rambling. Who's even gonna know, and who's gonna listen, and who's gonna care? That's the dad part of me that's saying nobody's gonna care or even listen to this, so why are you even talking? What's the point? And that's what I'm trying to get rid of. And that's a demon that's very hard to exorcise out of myself because it loves to come back. Anyway, so there's pieces all over the floor and I've got to figure them out. But if somebody else is where I am, I hope this helps you know you're not alone in it and you're going to be okay. I hope I'm going to be okay, and I hope you're going to be okay. But I just hope that I'm seen, and I hope that I'm heard. That's the root of it, is I just want the world to know I exist.